Well, hey everyone, I wasn't planning to actually shoot a video this week. Obviously because I did a clean shave of my stuff because I was getting overgrown and whatnot. I felt like, well, I got this gap. I'm not planning to shoot a video for another week. I'll clean shave and I'll go back and be regrown by the time I sit in front of the camera again. Nope. Because we got some problems going on right now in terms of YouTube behind the scenes crap. As I'm releasing this on Tuesday night, earlier today, we released the commentary for Sleepy Hollow, which is perfectly fine, no problems there. But the problem comes into where I was actually producing the video for the Liam Neeson action film Taken. And I got the whole thing done, got it up on YouTube, and I got hit with copyright claims. There was a lot of different companies listed on the claim. And one of them was an agency for Europa Corp, which is the production company for Luc Besson, who produced the film. And unfortunately, because they're based in France, and they have very ropey things with copyright, including no direct sort of thing for fair use, they denied my appeal. So the fact is, I can't release the video. There's no way I can actually release the video on YouTube, because they were going to hit me with a strike. If I didn't take it down within, either cancel the claim or delete the video, where the hell it was, within 7 days, I would have gotten a strike on this channel. So I can't live with that. Can't do that. So the review video cannot be released on YouTube. There's no way I can do it. I'm just locked away. When the thing got hit with a claim, it got partially blocked in 200 plus countries around the world, including the United States. Only I could actually watch because it's actually me on my channel, logged in my account. Anyone else would not be able to watch it in the United States and over 200 other countries. So it's screwed. It's not going anywhere. The only thing I can do is the fact that I put it up because Patreon recently, like the last couple months or weeks or whatnot, whatever the case is, recent times, they've launched their own sort of where you can directly upload videos to their platform. You don't have to link to something from a YouTube or Vimeo or whatnot. You can upload it with certain like size and link restrictions and whatnot, upload to their platform and just post it to your account there, which is what I have done for this video. Now right now it's behind the paywall of regular Patreon backers. It's at the $3 tier level. Now, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do from this point onwards, but right now it's available to watch completely with no restrictions if you go up and back me on Patreon. Now, I'm not going to let this sit there forever. I might, in the future, maybe at least in December, release it as a video free to view on the platform. But right now, this is what I'm doing. That's the only way I can do it. I put in time on the entire video. I'm not terribly sore about the whole thing. It was supposed to be just a video I was going to do that's kind of easy to get through. They kind of just fill the gap until I get much bigger projects, and so on and so forth. So I'm not crying over this thing. I was a little upset about the whole thing, but it's floating off. I talked with my friend Oliver Harper. It's like he said, it's probably best to just kind of cut the losses, cancel the claim, and just leave it behind the paywall. It seemed like the best sort of option. I was even trading some things with my friend Jay Hunter from OSW Review up on Twitter. I'm still at, just not as active there or whatnot. But he was kind of throwing out some other ideas of rejiggering the video, find some other ways of doing it where I'm not using like actual footage, maybe like just stills or something like that. But I told him I'm not that fussed about the video. It's not that important to me. I did put in time with it, but I don't want to put more time into it to kind of rejigger it and kind of tempt fate in that regard. Because even in the past, there were certain things like I had a big odyssey with the Bourne Identity video back in 2020, where I kept trying to re-edit it, re-upload it, and whatnot to kind of get past the copyright claim process, and finally did. But once I put it public, like a day or so later, it just got caught again, and I went into this whole thing. We got blocked and whatnot. It was a big mess, and so I was like, that sticks in my mind. It's like, well, even if I could find a way to get around it by rejiggering the video in some type of way where there's not like real footage or whatnot, one, it wouldn't hold up to all the stuff I've done for the last 12 years. It would just feel like an anomaly, something I'm just trying to force out in this type of way, kind of veer around it. It wouldn't be the same quality of video I'd do from everything else. And two, if I could find some other way, there's no guarantee they wouldn't slap a manual claim on it and I would get even worse in that regard. So I felt like it's just best to be safe and just not deal with this entire thing. It's still technically up on the back end of the channel. I made it private. I canceled the appeal. And so the whole copyright strike thing will not be happening now, but I'll probably just delete the video from the whole thing because, like, well, you could keep it up there, and maybe some wide off day the thing gets it gets released on some bizarre sort of scenario or whatnot. But it feels like it's on the edge of a really bad thing, so I'd rather just get rid of it. I'll probably just delete it off the back end of the channel and just let it sit where it has to be on this sort of direct upload thing on Patreon. So if you guys want to go there, you can go up there, pay $3, watch the video. No, it's not the most ideal situation, but in the situation I'm in, I can't publicly release the video on YouTube with monetization, even with the block. If I release it the few places it could get out to, there still wouldn't be any monetization, so it's just kind of a wash in that regard. So if you guys want to sign up for, like, just to see it, because also I posted our commentary for the Batman. The full commentary is up there right now. So if you go up on the $3 tier, you'll get that. You get the commentaries and the taken video and watch that, because we're probably not going to release the Batman commentary until maybe sometime next week. I'm not entirely certain where. Maybe before Thanksgiving, maybe after. I'm not entirely sure right now. I'll see and feel how it goes. But at least it's going to be up there for at least a week. And we go into our spoiler-filled thoughts on the Penguin series. And so it's a very thorough, very engaged one. Like, we've done a lot of these 3-hour commentaries, and some have been a little rough getting through things. There's like the pacing of the film, sort of things here and there. This was comparably, in a relative fashion, kind of breezy in that regard. We didn't feel like it was a slog talking and filling up the space. We had a lot of stuff to talk about, especially in the fact that we could keep coming back around to discussing different thoughts on that series as it ties into that film. So very engaging commentary. Very much implore you guys, if you want to get early, get up there, check it out. That the commentary tier is a $1 backer. So if you just want the commentaries, $1 a month, that's it. If you want to get up to the commentary, and if you want to get beyond the commentaries and get up to the review videos, the retro video series stuff, that's the $3 tier. So I'm just laying that out for you guys. That's what's happening up on Patreon, and that's the situation I'm locked into in that regard. So it's very unfortunate, but I'm not going to waste time and aggravation and stuff like that. I've done what I can. I just have to cut my losses and say, hey, that video, I just can't do the regular process of the whole thing. So I wanted to get up here on the channel update here. I'll let you guys know exactly what was happening in that regard. So you can go check it out if you want to and pay the $3 or whatnot, or decide it's not worth your money in that regard, which is perfectly fine. Anything like that. So I felt it was necessary to kind of get you up to speed on the whole thing, and because I posted on the social medias and the community page here, but that only reaches only so many people. I wanted to get up here and see that, make sure that everyone who is subscribed, who watches everything here, really could get the full information about what happened, and so why the video just kind of isn't going to show up on the channel here. So that's the situation there. Like I said, the Batman commentary is up on Patreon right now. You get that in that regard. So anything I'm working on, I figure we'll decompress here for a second. I didn't get any water before I did this whole thing, so I'll try to push through the whole thing without it. But the next video I'm working on, because I've got a little under 3 weeks to do this. So it's going to be the numerous versions of the Star Trek The Motion Picture. Retro video series is coming back. Now, I want to hit this because it's the 45th anniversary coming up next month. Now, apparently, the North American wide release date is December 8th. That's a Sunday this year. So I'm going to work on it to see where I go, because I'm a little thick on the schedule this week in terms of my work schedule. But I took especially a lot of days off between this Saturday and December 1st. I've got 6 days off. I took 6 days off and a 9-day stretch. If I can't get it done that way, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So I should be able to get, because that even then that gives me another week beyond that, more or less. I had to get up on Patreon about 2 days early or whatnot, but it still gives me, if I can't get up like 80%, 90% done by that point in time, I don't know what the hell I'm doing myself. So working on the entire thing, I've had some issues in terms of, like I think I mentioned before, some issues with my Blu-ray ripping software. Maybe I didn't. I've been blathering about it here and there. Having some issues with it. There's been some problems ripping discs with the software, and it's been kind of jittery or whatnot. Like, I'd set it to start ripping or whatnot, and it seems like it's going fine as the remaining time kind of clocks down, but then eventually starts ticking up and up and up and takes like hours. And so, thankfully, I sent an email to the software support for the software for the EaseFab lossless copy, and they did respond to me. And they asked me to go in the menu, the help menu, and hit export logs. And so I sent them the zip file with all the logs. So hopefully they'll analyze things, figure out what the problem is, where they're going to drop an update, anything like that. But hopefully that helps out, because I really didn't want to go off and pay more money for different software. So I used to use DVD Fab. Now, cheapo me, I kept just paying every year just for the one annual license, which is roughly about $35. But this year, they upped it to $70. They doubled the price on the damn thing. I think about 60 or I think it's about $70. Now I could get the permanent license on a discount right now for $75, but it's like if I can get them to fix the software that I already paid for back in March, I don't have to spend that much money. So hopefully I sent them the stuff. They contacted me back. I sent them the stuff, so hopefully they can work it out and figure out what the problem is. Either it's where the hell the problem is. Because I used the free version of DVD Fab to rip one of the other discs, as I think I mentioned before in the last update, and that ripped it fine. The DVD Fab software worked just fine, so it's not the external drive. Clearly it's not the external drive. There's something wrong with the software that's not functioning the right way. So, I've got most of the stuff I need for it. The only issue is the fact that I was mentioning before, and I kind of got my details wrong in terms of like the special longer version that was the TV edit of the film. That I have it on Laserdisc. I got the capture on the whole thing from a couple of years ago. That's fine. But the 4K edition, the entire Complete Adventure box set, did remaster it in 4K in widescreen. Now the problem is, there actually is no 1080p disc. There's no digital copy. It's only released on the physical disc. That's it. And I can't rip 4K discs. I only have 1080p software and hardware in that regard. So that'd be a lot more exorbitantly expensive to... I think I've got one on a wish list or whatnot that can rip Ultra HD discs, but it's almost like 130, 140 bucks, and it's on top of everything else I'd have to do. And this computer is from 2017. This iMac 2017. It's showing a little age in that regard, in terms of like it's not entirely keeping up with the new version of Photoshop. It's a little underpowered for it, and it kind of gave me a kind of warning screen. It's like, it's a little underpowered for what this thing can do, but technically you can run it. It's just that's not going to be the optimal setup for the entire thing. So anything like that, I'm just saying the rip of 4K disc it's just a little past the fingertips of what I'm at. So I'm probably going to have to deal with just the Laserdisc 4x3 Pan-scan version for the entire video here. So there's that. I might capture the actual widescreen theatrical cut Laserdisc as well, because there's a few minor things with the 4K of the theatrical cut that I do need a source to go back to show that there is some things with the 4K that they try to do some kind of shoddy sort of effects touch-ups. Why the hell they were doing this, I don't know why. So I at least have to, there's a couple of shots I have to kind of refer back to. I was thinking about getting the 2009 disc again. Maybe I'll think about it here and there if I want to just grab it up and whatnot and pay like $7 or something for it. Just kind of measuring out where my cost should land. But that should happen. So I will be working on that. I'll have to watch at least the theatrical cut, special longer version, and probably at least the 4K Director's Edition. I don't think I need to... Probably don't have to watch like the DVD and the 4K versions of the Director's Edition. I could probably just kind of like put them up like a split screen type of thing up on the computer and kind of make notes of the visual differences that are made. So it's more just like visual effects changes, some of things like that. So I don't think like so much the editing's been altered. It's a lot more of the effects alterations and stuff like that and touch-ups. So I can probably do that on much more of a visual level, comparing A to B instead of watching both versions through. So it's much more the more prominent changes from the theatrical cut, the TV cut, and the final director's edition and whatnot. So that's what I'll be working on very shortly in that regard. And anything like that. So those are general broad strokes of what I have to deal with. Another thing I'm going to be dealing with, because after I finish that, I think I might do a different movie review video. I've been having a little bit of an itch to maybe finally do the one on Drive. because I've tapped on it a couple of times, maybe getting up to it, but I've never kind of gotten all the way through it, getting up to the entire thing and really kind of pulling the trigger. I think I'm probably itching up on, because I'll look in the next couple of weeks if that new 4K Steelbook goes on sale. I know it's not as extravagant on everything as the second sight one from the UK, but in terms of, I think I can get by with just getting the 4K and the extra featurette and stuff like that. I think I can manage with what I have in that regard. Let's go see if there's going to be a sale, whatnot, to get a few bucks off the entire thing. So perfectly fine, because I'll be working through this through the beginning of December, and that's going to be fine. But I'm thinking I'll probably do this retro videos thing, kind of a buffer, kind of palette cleanser for a video like that for Drive. And then we're going into the Terminator 2 video. It is back on, because last time I mentioned there was like this, one of these AV to HDMI converter boxes. I returned it. It wasn't good enough. And so I finally pulled the trigger on what's up here. I'm not moving it down to what. I'll probably do like some B-roll on the whole thing. But I got a DVD recorder, and it looks fabulous. The quality is just perfect. Lovely. As HDMI out, it can go up to, with my capture card, it only goes up to 1080i, but also 480p. And it doesn't make a difference. I got up at OBS Studio, did some captures at both settings, couldn't tell the difference. It's perfectly fine. It's all just lovely, lovely stuff. We're back in business, folks. We're back in business. So this thing's wonderful. So Toshiba model, I want to make sure I got a brand that I could recognize. And I think there was a Sony one that was only up to 1080i, and so I chose the one that had 1080p, but doesn't seem to matter and whatnot. It does 1080p up to my TV over here, my Sony 4K, but since the capture card's in a straight way, doesn't really make a difference. So anything like that, pay about $40. So it's about the same price I was paying for all these freaking cheapo, no good sort of AV to HDMI boxes. They were just marginal, like microscopic differences between every one of them. They still weren't getting it up on the top quality. This is top quality. This is looking wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Oddly enough, I don't actually have any. I've got some dual layer DVDs. I've got a giant stack of CDRs for some goddamn reason still. Never going to use them for anything. I've got a couple dual layer DVDs, but I don't have any regular DVDs to even test the actual burner on the entire thing, the actual recorder on the thing. So I was going to test it the other night, but I realized I don't actually have any of them that are actually compatible with the entire setup. So I don't know. Maybe I'll buy a pack at some point and whatnot. But the fact is, I can just use it as a pass through up to the capture card, and it's lovely. It just looks exactly like it should. The comb filter on the thing, lovely. The deinterlacing, not even a problem. It just looks exactly the way it should. I'm so pleased. It's such a great thing. And it came without a remote, and I wanted to make sure I could actually get into the settings and make sure everything went off very well. So Amazon had one for under $10. So I actually ordered the thing. It looks exactly like it does in the entire manual that I downloaded, and it's wonderful. So most of the settings are made mainly for like watching the DVDs on the whole thing, but it was just nice to do this, because also I can change the input from S-video to composite and stuff like that. So it gives me a little more functionality, because if I remember doing from one of my VCRs does have S-video out, and it did look pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And it's still, I would have to check with more of like a commercial, like stuff I have for like the Star Wars stuff, or some of the things I have, like a commercial released. So I was saying I taped off a cable or whatnot back in the 90s. So I'd have to check it out with that, but and the quality of it coming through was much sharper than I had ever expected to look. So all very good. So the Terminator 2 thing will be back on, so I'll be working on that about a month from now. So I'll probably be in my down moments. I'll be grabbing the footage from the Laserdiscs, capturing it, and get all the stuff in line. And since I'm going to be probably doing like the 480p capture, I'm just going to capture like 720p and save me some actual disk space on my hard drives. So be perfectly fine. Final Cut Pro can just up-res anything I need to do with the 1080p, but usually most will be a lot of A to B comparisons, stuff like that here and there, whatnot, split screens and whatnot. But there's that. And I do have one media pickup. It's not the typical type of thing. No Blu-rays, no DVDs, anything like that. But last time I mentioned I was interested in doing a video regarding the evolution of the special effects in the original Star Wars trilogy, and I found a source of research. 1987, this beast was released. The size of this thing. I could kill this thing. Feels like it weighs 10 pounds. I could kill someone with this thing. This is. I just got this today. I had some rigmarole with a different seller on a different website, but eventually I grabbed someone off of eBay, and this thing got packed beautifully. Oh my God, they did such a great job. And the paper on this thing is it's glossy, it's thick. This thing's super high quality. I gotta find something in here for you guys. Here we go. This thing's got fold outs. This thing is unbelievable. To get this thing. That's from Return of the Jedi, the run-ins to the Death Star, and that's not the only one that's in here. They've got, this is all just ILM, the Art of Special Effects. It was released in 1987, and it talks everything about the first 10 years of Industrial Light and Magic. They've got things from Close Encounters, E.T., there's probably, looks like there's Poltergeist stuff in here, there's probably Willow, and everything else you can imagine. Just like, I'm looking at all this stuff from Empire Strikes Back here. This is the first time I'm really flipping through this thing much, but my God, this thing is going to be the treasure trove. There's even more. I think this is the one for, yeah. And though we're not major E.T. fans around here, but look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, I'm going to love this book. I'm going to love every inch of this goddamn book. This thing looks fantastic. Kept in fantastic condition. I am in love. I mean, everything I'm flipping through, it's just gold here. Oh my God, there's even more fold-outs. I'm not even an Indiana Jones fan, but now they got a triple gatefold of the entire warehouse at the end of Raiders. God damn, this is anyone who loves special effects needs to grab a copy of this thing. Got it for about $20. And this is just folds. Oh my God. I'm dying over this thing. More Empire. Oh my God, this. I just want to pin all this stuff up on my walls. Oh my Lord. I'm gonna die with this thing. Oh my God. Whew. And an old ILM logo on the back. And this comes with the dust jacket, everything. It just, oh my God. And this thing is a beast. A beast, I tell you. This thing, I kept having this thing on the desk, and it kept tipping over. It's like, goddamn, I can't let this thing fall on anything. It's going to destroy it. Seriously, I mean, this thing is just, look at the size of this goddamn thing. It's insane. It's insane. Awesome. Goddamn. This is, I just know, I was not aware this thing was this big and this heavy, but goddamn, it's premium. So premium. Oh my God. I love this thing. One of the best purchases I've ever made. I'm going to read through as much of this as I can. I've been thinking the last couple days, I got to get a notebook to actually take notes. I gotta spread this out or it's going to fall off. But I got to need a big notebook. I was thinking about like a little composition book or something like that. I got to get something meaty. I got to get a lot of pages in this thing. If I'm going to take notes on this entire thing and try to formulate a video around that topic, holy shit, I'm going to... Oh my God. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. So, there goes my remote control. Anything like that. But, I think that's about it. I think there was something else I was going to say. But, I don't know. That's a long enough update, I guess. I don't know. Anything like that. So there's nothing else but that, but that's more than enough. It's fantastic. And, yeah. I'm zeroing in on what we're going to do for my 200th commentary in January, because I think we might do the Hitcher. I kind of proposed a John Carpenter film to Steve the other day, just to get more of a reaction. But he said, basically, whatever I want to do, we will do it. So I'm thinking, I mean, I'd like to do another Carpenter film, Because we've booked up the first 6 months of next year already. We've got some David Cronenberg. We've got a lot of King. We got some Alien. We got the Nightmare remake. We've got American Psycho on there. It's just filled up really fast. I don't know. I'm just thinking here and there. Because I was editing stuff last week. I needed something kind of light and fun to watch. I threw on Big Trouble in Little China. I was like, that could be a contender. But I really want to. If I want to pull the trigger and get this thing about the Hitcher out of me. Because, as I mentioned before, since I want to have the thing actually in 4K, but if I want to have a dual format thing where I can rip all the stuff off of, then I got to pay a lot of money to import the thing from second sight, and I'm just like the thing with the ripping software is like maybe I can pare things down and find some other avenues and try to find a different thing. So I think that's perfectly fine because like with that and this, I've got a lot of stuff to work on. I got like months of stuff to work on. And so if I can kind of do it for the 200 commentary, the Hitcher, with me and Steve in January, that would satisfy. I think that would satisfy. I think that would satisfy me to kind of have that off my chest. Finally, after all these years, so we'll see. I'm not saying that 100%, but it's probably about 90% right now. So we're pretty close. But again, I'll keep an eye on prices as we go through the next couple of weeks and grab things because I signed up for Prime. They've been teasing me with this 3 months for half off deal for like a month or so right now. So I finally bid on it because I wanted to watch the new Alex Cross series they debuted last week. I liked what I was watching, but the fact of the matter is, whatever they did with the HDR grading thing, it's dark. It's like Heat dark, like Heat 4K dark. I was like, I'm futzing with things. If I had to start futzing with settings, there's something wrong here. I wasn't liking how the thing was looking. So I'm interested to watch the series. I was futzing around with things. I wasn't liking the results I was seeing on the whole thing. So anything like that, but still, I got it Prime right now, and luckily for it because I ordered the remote control. I had one of my composite video switchers. I think I left it up over there. Old one. Both my switchers are both Radio Shacks. I bought inside of an actual Radio Shack. So that tells you I've probably had them 15, 20 years at this point. And so this one, it was plugging in two of my VCRs into the bigger switcher. And for a reason, I was futzing around with things the other night when I was feeding cables into the DVD recorder and whatnot. And apparently it must have taken a bump and it's just not putting out a signal. Not putting out a signal anymore. So I hemmed and hawed and looked around on Amazon. I pulled the trigger on a GE one, which is a four switcher thing, which I don't need four, but it's the only one that was a name brand that I could actually recognize that was good quality and whatnot. So very good reviews. Everyone says it's durable, stable, kind of improves a little bit the exporting quality. So who knows whatnot, but anything like that, I can take heart in the fact that it's a name brand. I actually had it before. Because I was having certain problems with getting certain like electronic interference in the entire capture process before. And I decided to kind of try out a couple different switchers to see if that would help. That was one I had for a hot minute, but I returned it because it didn't really make a difference. But I figured, hey, what the hell? It looks like a good build quality. Sure, it's fine, whatever. So I'll be coming tomorrow, or when you're watching this, it's today, Tuesday. And like that, so anything in that regard. So I'll probably refrain from more babbling and whatnot. But that's where we stand right now. So again, wish things could be different. The Taken video. Again, it's nothing I hyped up. It's nothing I had a whole lot of heart on it. Just something that was kind of lurking around the list, on and off, thinking about it for every couple of years. I kind of thought about it. And I figured I'd pull the trigger on it and blew back on me in that regard. So again, if you want to hit up on Patreon, go check it out, anything like that. But if anything changes with the status of the video, because if anyone's going to sign up for it for this month, I'll probably keep at least behind the paywall for this month and see if I want to do anything else different for next month. I know Patreon's gone off a different way now because they all have to cater to fucking Apple right now. Even though I'm an Apple guy, I got my iPhone, I got my iMac, stuff like that. But the fact is they've changed the entire thing where now before everyone would get charged at the beginning of the month, so everyone got, all the Patreon creators got paid at the same time. But now it's the fact that everything's now a subscription, like it is to like an app, iOS or whatnot, where it's like from the day you sign up, that's your billing date now. So now creators don't get paid on a regular schedule or whatnot. You get paid whenever the 30 days is from the last time the person signed up. So if you have a bunch of people sign up at the beginning of the month, and you have someone sign up on the 12th, and someone else on the 21st or whatnot, you're going to get sporadic payments throughout the entire month, which with some creators, it's not a big thing for me. I know for a lot of people who have much more of a lifeline in that regard, in terms of getting paid on a regular schedule, I'm certain there's a lot of people on Patreon who are very much unhappy with that catering to that sort of style of everything like that, because they've gone through a whole different shakeup of changing things. It's a mess. It's a bit of a mess. No one's terribly happy about the whole thing, but we're making do. So basically, if you sign up on Patreon, try to avoid signing up through the iOS app. Try to do it through a browser, so there's not being like more fees charged through Apple's subscription stuff and the cuts they take or whatnot. It just eats into everything. Either the creator's got to pay it back, or you got to tack it on to the actual person paying for it. It's sloppy. It's a lot of sloppy stuff. So if you're going up on Patreon, go up on a browser, or if you're on an Android app, it should be less of a problem in that regard. But anything like that. So if you're already up on Patreon, you'll still be in the same old billing cycle of first of the month get charged, anything like that. Anything beyond that is kind of been shuffled around in that regard. So I'm not trying to make things difficult. A lot of other things are making things difficult. So that's the summary of this update. So guys, let me know what you feel about things. So my next day off is Wednesday. Then I've got Saturday, Sunday off. So I'll definitely be making progress, watching various versions of Star Trek: The Motion Picture, taking my notes of the whole thing, and getting up into constructing the video for that. So that should be shooting sometime next week and getting forward into editing. So hopefully everything be wrapped up and be released exactly on the 45th anniversary of the release of the film in terms of its wide North American release date. So anything like that, guys. So thank you so much for sticking around the channel, checking things out. As I said, the clean shaven look as it stick around. I thought I wasn't going to be shooting a video this week, so I just clean shaved it. I was going to wait until the end of the week and I'd be right back to where I need to be and get back in the camera, in front of the camera. But things changed and things went the wrong way and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, so check out the Sleepy Hollow commentary that's out on the channel now as you're watching this, and hopefully things will be nice and good and stuff like that. You can always contribute something directly through YouTube through the Super Thanks feature, all that type of stuff, but the liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing if you haven't, all that helps to make the channel very healthy and move forward. And thank you very much, guys. So take care.